Okay, here we go with another impromptu video. I mean, I'll be glad when I can finally be inspired to do videos again that actually are more thought out and prepared, but here we are and it is what it is. You know, I'm starting to see things really kind of become clear now as to, and I'm not one to deal with a lot of political stuff. I don't, it's not my lane. But I do see some things that I think need to be clarified when you look at the landscape and what's actually happening. Now I know there's some people that think a lot of things are about race. Well, it is, but it ain't. What you have. Let's look at how we got here. First of all, what we're seeing is, and this is not only here in the U.S., this is worldwide. We're looking at a fight for the elite to hold their power and not to let their power slip. That's really what it's about. It's about the elite versus the commoners, the masses, whatever name you want to use. And what you had, now still with this country, what you had was the elite in this country, that the way they controlled the masses was they created a group, my people, and put us on the bottom and put some other groups on top of my people and told them they were better. And that made them feel good without having anything tangible to go along with it. Just the idea that we are better and that we're superior was enough to keep them, like the carrot in front of the donkey, enough to keep them moving. So a lot of things now that we're seeing, even when you look back at the incident that happened in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street massacre. And if you look at that, what you had a black community that was doing really, really well. But across the tracks, you had a bunch of poor other people. And they really had a problem with the fact that the other side was doing so well. They had an issue with that because according to the dream that was sold to us, this is not the way it's supposed to be. So their solution was, the way they thought to fix it was to burn it to the ground. So therefore, since it's gone, now we're all on the bottom together. So what you had the elite that tricked a lot of people into infighting, so that no one is paying attention to the sleight of hand that was taking place, where people were led to believe that because they were a certain skin color, they were better, and they relied on that as being as being their motivator. They were given no tangibles, only a promise, only speech, only words that you're better than this group of people. Maybe a little bit of something better, but not much. You were not going to be given what you're supposed to be given. Sold a dream. So now what we see is that over the years, the scales have come off, and people are realizing that the people that were supposedly on the bottom are doing better than a lot of the people that thought they were on top. And this didn't fit the ideology. So now it's like, okay, what's really going on here? If we're really better, how come we're not doing as well as this group? So now that's where you see a lot of the anger coming in. That's where the race part comes in, because they don't understand how are they doing well and we're not, when we're supposed to be the one doing better than them. So a lot of the scales are starting to come off people's eyes. People are going back researching history and looking at stuff, trying to figure out, okay, what's the real truth here? What's really going on? And people's eyes are coming open. I can't tell you how many people of other racial groups are starting to go back and relook at history and say, wait a minute, I was never taught this before. This is not what they told us. We were taught something different. Why do you think there's a push to hide history in school. It's not about, something, when you look at a lot of the stuff that is racial violence, the stuff that is racially motivated, notice something. It's never the elite. They're never involved. The elite are just the ones playing puppet master. It's the people. But what's happening now, a lot of the masses are waking up saying, you sold us an illusion. And now the reason why you see so many people trying to align with my demographic of people is because of the fact they're saying, oh, we've been on the wrong side. We've been lied to. We've been on the wrong side. You guys have been telling the truth all this time. So people's eyes are coming open, and that isn't a threat to the elite. That's the reason why now, you would have never seen all the attacks from a racial standpoint. Certain skin color groups you didn't see a lot of attacks on their own. It did happen in the past, but the way they made them feel better about it, said, yeah, we're treating you bad, but at least you're not them. Well, now all that's falling apart. So now people are being attacked. They're saying, wait a minute, you're supposed to be treating them worse than you're treating us. Everybody's getting it now. And that's a problem, because this is not the way it was supposed to be. This is not what you sold to us. So now the scales are coming off. So yeah, people are in an uproar. Everybody, it's a whole lot going on. And what you're seeing are people that are understanding is not what we were told. This is an elite versus the masses. And now people understanding we all are in the same boat. And as time goes on, it's going to be, you're going to see more and more, because people are waking up now, and there's a fear, there's a lot of people waking up, people turning on stuff. Like I said, the whole race thing, that was all an illusion. It was an illusion to keep people distracted from what the real goal was. It's kind of like when you have maybe, let's say, a person that was in law enforcement or some type of law enforcement or in the court system or whatever. Then all of a sudden they maybe they were really hard on people that they came in contact with. Maybe you had an officer that was really hard on people he came in contact with, or a particular judge that was hard on the people that came into his courtroom. But that same officer, that same judge, something happens and they end up in prison with the people they convicted. Boy, that's an awakening. That is a reckoning that's mind-boggling. So what we see here is that a lot of people who never thought they would be sitting in the prison cell right along with the rest of us, they're here. Well. Welcome home. So what you're seeing is an awakening. So pay attention. Don't just get caught up in the racial thing. And anytime you see people, and I don't care whether it's diaspora wars or what, anytime you see stuff just going on and about race, understanding that's a deflection from the real problem. That is the deflection to keep you looking here when the real problem is over there. So pay attention. Don't get caught up in everything you see. When you see race involved, let them antennas go up, say, okay, what's really going on here? Pay attention and notice something. The elites are not getting involved with it. They're letting the commoners and the masses turn on each other while they're staying out the way. But the masses and the commoners are waking up. So that's it. Just an observation. Like I said, is it about race? It is, but it ain't. Know the difference.